The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us.
So I'm not even mad. I'm not. I've moved past mad. I'm more,
No, we knew like 3 weeks.
we knew at the beginning of the season this was either going to be like Minnesota out
feast
of
or famine.
right? Like
Yeah.
Minnesota, who like nobody expected, and now they're gunning for a 1 seed, or what happened? People got hurt, and we've won 5 games. We lost at home to the fucking Raiders. That kid Brock, whatever his name is, the tight end for the Raiders.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
I think he's broken every rookie record for tight ends.
No, yeah, I mean, Raiders just need 1 or 2 more drafts, and they'll be
I don't know,
in
man. Like, they were good a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like Derek Carr's last year. I don't know. The Saints are... Cam's coming back for another year. I think...
Well, so my thing is, or the word about town is, do you blow it up or not? Which it's so. This is where I think like the focus is off in that, and I'm going to come back to something that we've said, which is, so I mean like contractually there's some stuff that we just like financially would not make sense. Like you don't just cut Derek Carr.
But after next season, I think you can.
Yeah. But right now, we're still, paying him too much money. The other thing is that in my mind, and what I think we've been dancing around and talking about a little bit is, if we're talking about rebooting this franchise,
Here, you want to hear something real quick? Go ahead, finish your thought.
it's got to start with the front office. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. And
Mickey Loomis, I get
his
it.
black magic worked while Drew Brees was
Right.
here, and we had a core.
He's got, he brought a Super Bowl trophy to this town. I get it. You got carte blanche, but
Joe Torre got run out of town.
Right.
So
Exactly.
guess what?
Yeah.
Here, the top earners: Derek Carr, $150 million.
Yeah.
It ends in 2026. He's 31. Ryan Ramczyk, almost $100 million. It ends in 2026, and he's 26. He's still on he's on an extension of his rookie year.
Oh wow.
So then you've got Eric McCoy, Carl Granderson, Cesar Ruiz. The next 3, they're all 24, 26, 24. Perfect.
Yeah.
But then here's where you get a problem. You've got Taysom Hill, Cam Jordan making a lot of money. Alvin Kamara making a lot of money, and he'll be 30.
Yeah.
But see, and then this is why it's frustrating, because then the next 3 people on the roster, Pete Warner, Chris Olave, and Fuaga, the offensive linemen,
Yeah.
are not making anything, and they're all under 25 years old.
Right. So you have,
It's the defense that needs help.
well, and we have, but and that's what I'm saying is that
Brian Brzee only 21.
Yeah. I mean, you have a good young core.
Right.
And on both sides of the ball, we got to plug in.
We need to get rid of some of these contracts, like Ruiz. Maybe he'll retire.
Yeah, he's old. I mean, he's due.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not Ruiz.
Well, you said like Cam's going to come back for 1 more year so he can retire a Saint.
Oh man, our offensive line is all young. I like that.
So,
and all under contract until 2027.
But we don't. I mean, in terms of if we can keep them healthy, and that's why I say like the Saints or Gale's teams have to go with a different health system.
Did you see that
because
guy...
like Pelicans and Saints are riddled with injuries. So
Yeah,
what do they use?
trust me.
Oshner or what?
Trust me, I know. We've talked about this. Who did I see wanted to buy the Saints?
I thought somebody came in and wanted to buy the Pelicans, but
maybe that's what it was too. But one of
Oh,
the
no, no,
billionaires
yeah.
who owns a couple of organizations, but not a football one.
Right, yeah.
Like maybe the Houston Rockets and
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
and a baseball team somewhere.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that dude.
He can't move us there. There's already a fucking team. So just buy us. He doesn't have a football team.
Well, and that's part of Gail's stipulation. She won't sign off on it if somebody's going to move the team. Like, they have to keep the team.
He owns the Rockets.
Well, I mean, if he's...
Houston's got a football team already.
Houston's 5 hours away. I mean, it's an hour and a half plane flight. So that's not a big deal for a billionaire.
It's a fucking 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
So, really, I'm not going to look at that yet. There's a lot of work needs to be done. Contracts need to be the first thing, and I don't want to push like Demario Davis or Cam Jordan out the door. Taysom Hill's contract is up next year, so like worst case is you ride this another year. Yeah, and then you've got 6 guys coming off the books who make a shit ton of money.
But I think where they're at draft position wise is good for this year.
8,
in that
9, 10, 11.
Defensive. You get...
Yeah, you need lots of defensive.
Right. So, like, in that mode, and then, you wait, you let these other dudes finish out their contracts, like, and well, again, as you were saying, like, hopefully by the time either, we restructure Kamara's contract, or if he wants to go some other place.
Well, we just remember
Jordy Love. It's like we'll be in a draft position to pick up Jordy Love, or some dude like that. But
Kamara just signed, so I'm okay with him. And Cam is just 1 more year left on his contract.
Yeah.
Demario, the same thing. You're going to have to find replacements for that. You got to assume just Derek Carr, you got a year left on him. I'm cool with Rattler.
I would say...
He would be serviceable to save us some money while we build from the inside.
So what you're
out.
saying, so like any dude who's passed like the first 3 years and is not a franchise...
Correct.
You just need to dump them.
Correct. And don't get... Demario and Cam are old. So
right.
I'm not talking about get rid of them. I'm talking about they retire.
But they're franchise players.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to get the Carr, let his contract go away. Taysom Hill, he's 34 and he just had his knee destroyed. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Love the guy to death. Might be time to retire.
Yeah.
Olave's still on a rookie. You've got these guys still on rookie contracts. Now, if you really want to blow it the fuck up, is you start trading your Olaves or your Fuagas, those guys for draft picks. Did I say sell? Like I'm still talking about soccer?
Yeah. Well,
trade.
I mean, it's effectively the same, but yeah.
For draft picks.
Yeah, but I mean, that's assuming, that is becoming more and more of a gamble every year. Like,
what's that?
Well, that thing of like, oh, okay, we're going to load up on draft picks and then give us 2 years and then we're going to rebuild this team.
You know why we don't? It's because we don't have the money to. Look at how many players are on playoff teams, former Saints, that we drafted that are now playing for other teams because their rookie contracts ran out and we decided to pay Taysom Hill or Derek Carr.
That's also my point is that maybe we need to move on from the Mickey Loomis model.
Right.
And we need to find...
Drafting hasn't necessarily been an issue. It's been being able to keep these guys that you draft. What's the fucking point of selling somebody? I see your counterpoint. Selling them to get draft picks if you're just going to turn around and sell them to be, afterwards.
You're the Pittsburgh Pirates.
You're just spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have the off year that you're competitive and you get far in the playoffs.
But if you do what Houston did, or Detroit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you actually build those people up.
Yeah.
Keep them, pay them. And then fill your spots in free agency.
You do what we all know works, which is You build offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah,
and
inside
then
out.
All the role players, you could plug in a Jeff Hostetler,
So
and they win you a fucking Super Bowl.
Your spine
Yeah.
in soccer terms.
I'm just
You
saying,
need,
like,
your quarterback, your running back.
no
on
offense to Doug Williams, but the
Or-
Redskins
or
back
Mark
then.
Rippon.
Yeah. Redskins back then, though, had one of the best maybe the best defensive line.
And they also had one
And
of the best
the-
receiving corps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a strong offensive line that
Yeah.
gave their quarterbacks all the time in the world.
Yeah. That's why they called them the Hogs for so long.
Right.
Because they were known as, an off. It's what the SEC is known for. It's just offensive and defensive lines.
Right.
Like big, giant kids.
yeah.
And then if you could poach a skill player here and there and a
Exactly.
quarterback, you got a good team. But as you're seeing in Chicago with Justin Fields, or is
Yeah.
it somebody next now?
It's Caleb Williams.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Again, they've gone through like 2 or 3 high draft pick quarterbacks
Right, yeah.
that are good.
But they don't know how
But-
to handle them.
Well, that if you don't have an offensive line,
But,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter how fucking good you are. Peyton Manning showed you that.
Yes.
Tom Brady showed you that. If Drew Brees, if these guys don't have their 5, 6, 7 seconds to sit back there,
Yeah.
give a fuck who you are. Unless you're Jaden Daniels, and then you can just run away from it.
Yeah. Which, again, Washington got... I mean, that pick could have gone either way.
Right. They
Like-
could have had, because Daniels came in, he was drafted second.
Yeah.
Well, Washington's going to benefit from that unless they fuck it up like they did at RG3. Although that was more because of injury than anything else.
Well, that was also... I mean, remember, they had Dan Snyder as their owner. He's no longer the owner / GM because he wanted to be Jerry Jones 2.0. But
Yeah, no, they had to like physically make him sell.
yeah.
It was also because he was super, super racist, right?
And, like, raped everybody in his
Allegedly.
office. Yeah.
Okay.
There's your boy. But, yeah, it's... I don't know.
I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to take a couple of years. It's going to take longer
Right,
than
yeah.
it's going to take the New York Rangers to get back in
But
contention.
yeah, so my worry is, to get back on the Saints, is that if the Saints quote unquote blow it up, that's going to be like 10 years to get back. If you're able, if you bring in somebody who knows how to really actually do like real contracts and not these little phantom one-offs
That's what I'm
and
saying.
stuff like
I don't
that.
need black magic anymore.
Yeah. We need
fiscal-
solid accounting.
I need fiscal responsibility like Green Bay.
Right? Yeah.
If Green Bay could compete every single year
I mean,
in the tiniest market on the planet,
well, and I put you. I think your comparison to Houston. I mean, Houston's a much bigger market, yes, but their payroll is not that much different from ours.
no. I mean, everybody's got to be like where it's at.
Yeah.
Not here.
What?
Not here.
But
But
here.
here.
Well, but and like, okay, let's take like 2 horrible teams that are in like the biggest market in the world.
You mean the Jets?
Yeah, the Jersey teams, the Giants and the Jets.
Correct.
And
they
like,
both play in the industrial complex in Jersey.
Right.
Like right on the shore.
2 teams that every year, this draft pick is going to save us.
No.
Like, no, it
And
never
the
does.
Jets just proved to you, whether it was Aaron Rodgers or not, you can't just drop a quarterback in and be like, okay, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Minnesota, exception to the rule with Sam Darnold, who was another perfect example of a dude who was in a shit situation.
Right.
Now, Baker Mayfield.
Correct, yeah.
You
Got
know-
behind a solid offensive line.
And guess
look
what?
at they
Now,
can do.
now he
Yeah.
can actually do his fucking job.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew Brees. When Drew Brees had the offensive line,
Yeah.
like he would shred you. We win 10 games a year just
Yeah.
because those lean years where you didn't have an offensive line.
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, Produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.